Good afternoon. My name is Tony Henning. I've been following mobile imaging for a little more than 8 years for Future Image. As luck would have it, that is the topic for the next hour or so. I traditionally kick off this brief survey by reminding us all why we continue to pay attention to mobile imaging. It's all about scale. Sales of traditional film cameras dwindling to nearly nothing. Throw in one-time use cameras, it's not so bleak, but they're still going down. Digital camera numbers are strong. By comparison, however, sales of camera phones basically smoke all other types of capture devices combined. Factor in the second cameras, and the total number of cameras in phones is even more impressive. The interesting thing is that there's still plenty of upside to this market. In just 3 years, 1 out of every 3 humans on the planet will own a camera phone. That's an installed base of roughly 2.3 billion. But there will be 4.3 billion cellular subscribers by then, and more than 6.3 billion people will be covered by a cellular network. Even ignoring replacements and upgrades of more than 1 billion units a year, that still leaves 2 billion subscribers and 2 billion more potential subscribers as a target market. It's all about scale. So, despite these impressive numbers, camera phones have yet to live up to their potential. The litany of reasons for this failure to meet expectations is all too familiar, especially to those of you who have listened to me whine about them for the last 5 years. How are we doing in our quest for phones with satisfactory cameras? Well, everywhere but North America, we're doing pretty well. Here are some state-of-the-art camera phones being offered to subscribers in Japan. These on the top row are 5-megapixel 3x optical zoom models. All 3 major carriers have them. As you can see, this level of functionality has been available for 2 years. These 8-megapixel models have just been introduced for the winter sales season. Here's the cream of the crop in the European market. Although there's just one 5-megapixel 3x optical zoom model from Samsung, it's been on the market for nearly a year. And there are now at least 4 8-megapixel camera phones in the shops for Christmas. The first 3 here are sliders, and the last 2 are pure touchscreen models. Here's the best that American carriers offer. If it weren't for T-Mobile's introduction of this 5-megapixel Motorola model 2 weeks ago, this slide would be blank. The Motozine ZN5, which incorporates some Kodak imaging technology, is, by the way, a very satisfactory camera phone. Very good image quality, autofocus, responsive, powerful xenon flash, in-camera Kodak Perfect Touch enhancement, and direct upload to Kodak Gallery via Wi-Fi. T-Mobile is offering this phone to its subscribers for just $99.99. I've shot a number of sample images with this phone. If you're interested, catch up with me and my laptop later and you can take a look. The interesting thing, though, is that this phone is absolutely buried on T-Mobile's website. You have to know it's there to find it. So these state-of-the-art camera phones are decidedly in the ultra-premium niche of today's market, but many of their most advanced features will trickle down to mainstream camera phones in the next 18 to 24 months. The most important trends represented here are, in addition to a fistful of 5 and 8 megapixel models, last week Sony announced a 12 megapixel module for mobile phones, and at a November 6th press conference, Ericsson forecast 20 megapixel camera phones by 2012. 20 megapixel camera phones. Autofocus is pretty much table stakes for today's premium phones. Nearly all these phones can capture VGA video at 30 frames a second. Several can capture smaller video at 120 frames per second, and HD resolution video is next. Perhaps most interesting is the migration of digital camera features into camera phones. Anti-shake, face detection, smile detection, blink detection, red eye reduction, panorama stitching, scene modes, in-camera still and video editing, sophisticated metering and focusing schemes, mechanical shutters, automatic lens covers, xenon flash, and more are increasingly found in camera phones as well as digital cameras. The screens are getting amazing. They're getting larger, tighter, more colorful, brighter, more contrasty, prettier with OLED and display technologies from Bravia and Aquos flat panel TVs, and now increasingly feature accelerometers for reorientation and multi-touch widget-based interfaces. GPS chips, common in mobile phones, but still basically non-existent in standalone digital cameras, not only provide for navigation and location-based services, but also allow photos to be tagged with their precise geographic location, an extremely useful feature growing in popularity.